what you have done is given us that education of the environment and understanding. And I believe 100% we are more secure because of that.
Today, I'm joined by Daphne Seymour from TerraCorp. Daphne, good to see you.
Hi, Ted. Thank you for having me. Good to see you.
All right. Well, let's start out the conversation. Just tell us a little bit about TerraCorp and your role there.
We are a property management company focusing on housing for seniors and multi-families, affordable and tax credit. And my job is HR and IT for the company.
Well, super. And we got to know each other during the sales process, right? So, and one of the key things that SnapTech does when we're talking to prospective new clients, we do what's called a IT discovery and cyber risk assessment. Can you tell us a little bit about your impressions on how that process went?
I thought the introduction of that was really amazing because we had some holes in our securities that Matt Locotti, who's the owner of the company, was concerned about. And we found SnapTech. And in doing that, we had Todd, who I personally think is this stealth guru who came in and found out that we were with a company that on the outside looked really sleek, but there were some cracks in our systems. And this assessment, I think, really showed this really robust output of information that unless we did it, we just were going to go on unprotected. What we could have done and should have been protected against, we weren't. And that's really what the assessment showed. And it doesn't matter that we weren't using the license at 100%, we should have been protected at 100%. And that's what we weren't.
And you guys were paying for features that you actually weren't using in Microsoft 365. And it's really hard for business professionals who are real estate professionals who are running a company to know all the nitty gritty details about how to leverage cloud technologies. And until you stop and take stock of where you are and bring in an expert. So you mentioned Todd, he's our VCIO. Until you bring in somebody of that caliber to evaluate an environment, you're not going to find these gaps. And fortunately, this process surfaced some of these gaps. And as a part of your onboarding process, we put together a Microsoft 365 hardening project where we're able to actually fully maximize the licenses you have, put in place all the cybersecurity best practices that are necessary in your cloud environment. And we tackled that as a part of your onboarding. And so by migrating from the prior MSP to SnapTech, we've been able to scratch several of those off the list, in addition to putting in place some additional measures like cybersecurity training and a Sophos managed detection and response capability in your business.
And it's education is power, information is power. And I think what you've brought is an education, and it's kind of like the ocean. You don't know what's underneath until you get underneath and see. And I believe that what you have done is given us that education of the environment and understanding. And I believe 100% we are more secure because of that.
And how did it help you make a decision to go with SnapTech? When we do the assessment process, we sit down together and we go through the details of the full exec summary, which is like a 20 to 40 page document. Right. And we go through, we make sure there's a level set and we understand it together. How did it help you make a decision to change MSPs once we were able to go through the detail of the assessment?
Well, I mean, it was, like you said, it was a robust package, but it was also a black and white understanding of this is where you are and this is where you should be. Here's how exposed you are. Now let's fix that and add that layer of protection to where you really should be. And without that protection, we're exposing over 5,000 tenant informations in the cloud. So seeing that on paper really was a deciding factor.
Well, we're thrilled to have you as a client, and I really appreciate you spending some time talking about the IT discovery and cyber risk assessment process today. And thank you for sharing your thoughts.
Well, thank you for having us as a client. We are 100% satisfied.